What's up, YouTube? Long time no see. The dad life has definitely taken a hold of me, and I've been a lot busier than normal. But I still want to give you guys some good content, and I'll give you as much as I can when I can. And you guys have been blowing up the comments, asking for an updated Super Quant profile. So went 3-1 this last week at locals. Thought I would give you guys a little deck profile, show you what I'm working with. I still don't think it's like a final version, but I definitely feel like if regionals were a thing right now, then I definitely would be getting an invite. Mainly because I just know this deck so well, and I love it. I think it has a very good matchup against most of the meta. Still struggles a little against back row decks, but there are ways around that. So let's get right into it. Of course, we have the standard 3 copies of Alpha, and this card is still absolutely insane. Being able to just facilitate all of our plays. But I found a lot of use in his first effect, being able to just manipulate levels to be very, very useful, especially when you're running such a diverse Xyz package like I am. Running 3 copies of White Layer, of course. This guy is amazing, absolutely what the deck needed. Just being able to fetch out Alphen, as well as manipulate levels and get other cards into the graveyard. It's an insanely good card. The only thing that I don't like about it is it's a level 7, because there are times where you're just stuck with this one card and no way to get it out of your hand to be able to search that Alphen. But for what it is, it's an amazing card. 3 copies of Red Layer. This card, everybody knows this card. Super nice just to have that extra body on the field, and as well as being able to link off into it and summon back out another one, and occasionally being able to regain those resources by summoning it and then just pulling a card out of the graveyard. Still 2 copies of Green Layer. I think this is still the right ratio. Unless you're playing Pot of Desires, then definitely up that to the 3rd copy, but for the most part, this is our most lackluster card out of the Super Quants, so I don't think 3 is really warranted, but you definitely need at least 2 just to be able to manipulate those levels with White Layer. 1 just isn't enough, but 3 is too many. And rounding it off, 3 copies of our Omni Searcher Blue Layer. Just amazing card, searches any card in our archetype, and yeah, it demands a response from your opponent. As soon as you tell them it searches out any Super Quant card, they kind of freak out, because nobody really knows what this deck is capable of. So moving on, we have our hand traps and our utility monsters. So 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Just a great generic negate. Hits pretty much any deck. The best part about this card is it may not end at an opponent's turn, but it can slow them down, and then when you go into games 2 and 3, this is your first card that you want to swap out for your side deck, just because then you know exactly what is best to counter them. Right now, still going 2nd, so 2 copies of Phantasme. This card's amazing right now. I don't honestly know when it stopped being amazing. At least for a going 2nd strategy, being able to just fix our hand. There's a lot of dead cards in our deck that we just don't want in there. So I honestly think it might stay in for the foreseeable future, but it's still an amazing card. I absolutely love it, and the fact that it's a level 7 makes it even better. And we have 3 copies of Gamma and our 1 copy of Driver. This plays well with our level 1, as well as some of our other extender cards. Just being able to tribute off Alphen, and then they Ash Blossom it, then you can go Gamma, and you resolve, and you get 2 free bodies on board. And then still some more utility monsters, 3 Kaijus. Now, right now, I would recommend Godarla, because Godarla is that wind monster, helps you against Bird Up, but you can use either Raiden or Kumungus, because they're level 7s, plays well with our White Layer. Other than that, I would stick with Godarla right now. or you can even go Gamma Seal if you just want to have something easy to beat over. And then the last of the monsters, we have Red Eyes and Dark Magician, as well as our Red Eyes Fusion to go with our Dragoons package. Absolutely has to be in this deck, otherwise it's a lot harder to actually stand a chance against the meta. Once you summon out Dragoons, you have a much better chance of winning. Alright, onto our spells. Now, something I did pick up from watching a lot of the Prank Kids decks. This deck does run very similar to what Prank Kids does, in the idea that it can just extend and go into link plays. It can go into XYZ plays, but what it needs is some way to break through those big combo boards like Dragon Link. So I have been testing this out, and I think it's been working out pretty well. I'm still not completely sold on it, but I kind of like it. So 3 copies of Mystic Mine. Yes, it's an unfair card, but we are playing a rogue deck, so we have to play those unfair cards in order to compete. I don't feel bad about playing this card at all. Really, it just helps you win. You can smack down Mystic Mine, go green layer into white layer, send green, then go Utopia double and win the game. That's just how it is sometimes. This can also help you just stall until you get the cards you need to win. And you know, that's just how the game is played these days. And to round out our field spell, I am on the 1 Super Quant field spell. This card is still very insane, especially since we're playing Mystic Mine. Being able to turn that off at any point in time that we need to is a big bonus. We can just search it off a blue layer and then smack it down. We get out of our Mystic Mine lock and we just go in for the kill. The rest of our spells, we have 2 copies of Twin Twisters. Still, in my opinion, the best spell and trap removal for this deck, simply for the fact that you have to discard a card. And we all know that our Super Quants want to hit Grave in order to trigger their effects. So Cosmic Cyclone is still pretty good, but we can get more value out of Twin Twisters. And then also our 1 copies of Harpy's Feather Duster. Absolutely have to play. This card is insane. The fact that it's off the ban list is amazing. Absolutely love it. Alright, time for a bunch of one-ups. So these are all just basically consistency cards and extenders. So you have 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Send your white layer, send a green layer, whatever you need to just extend out. 1 Reasoning. I'm not completely sold on this card. This just says give me a free body. Even if they call 1, oh well, you just made your deck a little bit thinner, I guess, if it happens to hit there, but we're playing so many different levels. The one bad thing about this is if you hit Dark Magician or Red Eyes, that kind of sucks. 1 for 1. Enough said. Don't really need to say much about it. Eat Tully. Being able to just special out that blue layer and get a free search. This card is by far my favorite. I really want it to come back to 3. And then our last one-ups, 1 Mind Control. This card's insane. I miss having this at 3, but hey, 1 copy is still pretty amazing. And then 1 Double or Nothing, obviously for our Utopia package. So that is the main deck. That is 42 cards in the main. Don't really need 40. I don't care for the argument that 40 cards is best, because you know what, those 2 extra cards really don't matter, especially when you're playing a bunch of one-ups. Alright, moving on to our extra deck. The extra deck is kind of a fluid thing. There are a couple of cards you absolutely have to play, but for the most part, I've pretty much just built it as a way to compete against my locals. So you don't have to keep it exactly like I have, but I play around with it, see what you like. 1 copy, Nightmare Phoenix. Having that for utility to pop a spell or trap, always good. 1 copy of Psyframe Lambda. We are playing the Psyframe package, so it's really nice if we put out 2 monsters on board and then go into this, especially if we take something off of Mind Control, yeah, and then we just have a way to protect our plays and make them go through. 1 copy of Anaconda for Dragoons. Those are the only 3 links that I'm playing. Again, play around with them, see what you think about. But I like this. I like this package. I do kind of want to test out Relinquished Anima. I think it could be a cute little thing to do, but yeah, I like this package right here. Moving on to our XCs, we have our 1 Grand Pulse, which is our MST. We have our 1 Ouroboros, which is our Book of Moon. 1 Magna Liger. I kind of don't feel like I always have to play this card, but there are times where I guess it kind of pops up. But really, you don't have to play it. I'm kind of just playing it to test it out and see where it's at. This is a monster pop, by the way, but it's okay. And then 1 Luster X as a effect veiler, being able to negate our opponent's plays. Out of the 4 of these, Grand Pulse is obviously the one you make the most. Luster X is the one you make right after that. And then obviously we're playing our 1 Megazord. This card is absolutely insane. If you can Mystic Mind Lock your opponent and slowly build up to the materials, yeah, pop this guy on the board, they're not going to win. Once you get this guy out with at least 6 materials, it's very difficult for your opponent to come back. Alright. Moving on to our utility XCs, we have 1 Lightning Chidori. I love this card. You can make it so easily. No, you don't just have to use 2 green layers. The fun thing about white layer is whatever card that you send to the graveyard off of its effect, it copies its level and its attribute. So Lightning Chidori requires 2 level 4 wind monsters. White layer can make itself a level 4 wind monster by sending green layer. So the fun thing about this, you send with your white, make him, you remove a face down, use the effect, remove a face up, and then go into battle, attack with it, and then go into Zeus, and you just got so much free value off of being able to play this 1 card. Then we go to our Utopia package, 1 Utopia double, 1 Utopia. This package is insane, being able to hit for game and 1 attack off of 2 level 4s. Yeah, I think it's an absolute must. The only downside is playing your 1 brick, but really this deck you have to play those unfair cards, and this is absolutely a must. And then rounding off those XCs, we have our 1 Big Eye. It's so free to just go into 2 level 7s. We have so many of them. We have our Phantasmes, we have our white layers. You can even go 1 white layer, normal summon, Alphin, copy levels. I mean, there's so many ways to make it. And then 1 Zeus. I have thought about bumping it up to 2 Zeus, but honestly, in my experience, if I am summoning this, I've already cleared my opponent's board, and I've already done enough damage that next turn I'm just going to sit on this, use its effect at the end of the turn or whenever, and then go in. But rarely do I ever feel like I need a second one. And then rounding off 1 Intis. This is just my tech call. You don't have to play this. My locals occasionally has some Dogma, and it's just free. Once they send off of Maximus, you send this, and you can pop a card. And then our 1 Dragoons. Absolutely have to play Dragoons if you want to be competitive with this deck. It's unfortunate that it's necessary, but at the same time, it is such an upgrade to rogue decks that there's no point in not playing it. Alright, now we are on to our side deck. We have 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone to hate on back row, so your Eldritch. I've seen Altergeist coming back. Yeah, you just want something to help you get rid of back row. Evenly matched 2 copies. Again, back row decks, Altergeist, Eldritch. This helps you clear those boards. Then you have Dogmatica, Dragon Link, anything that searches a lot. You have 2 Droll Knockbirds for that. Absolutely amazing card. 2 Nibiru, same thing. Your combo decks, your rogue decks, anything that summons more than 5. Nibiru is just there to stop those big plays. And then 2 copies of Lancia to hit those Invoke decks. Eldritch, Orcus is making a comeback. Dinos are still powerful. Lancia is still just absolutely bonkers. And then our going first package. So obviously we want a blind second every time, but your opponent does make you go first once they figure out what you're trying to do. So 1 trap trick, 3 copies of Sanctum, and the 1 scythe. Yeah, this is an absolutely incredible lineup, and the artifact Sanctum is still insane. So I don't see why more people aren't playing it, but a lot of people aren't playing going second deck, so I can understand why. So that's the deck for you guys. Thank you guys for sticking with me through all the times that I'm not posting. Hopefully I'll be able to get some good content for you guys in these next few weeks. Yeah, it's been a fun ride lately being a dad, so wish me luck. Starting to teeth, so yeah. As always, guys, have fun. May the cards be with you. Peace out.